with, the money I sold it for. No, that's not true, because I sold this stuff real cheap. It was, I would sell something for $300 or $400 if I could get it, that now sells for, like $8,000, $10,000. I didn't know
Yeah.
at the time.
Well, it's like Disney and their old animation cells. They just like scrape the cells clean to reuse them,
Yeah,
and now they're all highly collectible.
yeah.
Just nobody knows. You're never gonna know what's gonna have value.
You don't, and fortunately, comic book work became valuable to collectors, and thank God for for those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Did you have trouble getting any artwork returned from comic book publishers? Because I knew that used to be a big.
It was not the policy for comic book companies to return original artwork when I started working. They kept it all, which pissed me off, because I thought, what, they don't deserve this. I mean, I wasn't even thinking of money. I was thinking of piles of artwork. Like, why should they have this pile of artwork that's like this high? That should be mine, and I should be able to watch it grow, you know. And all of the artists complained about it, not officially or really very seriously, because we all wanted to keep working. And I might have some of the facts wrong, and some of the names. I'm going to use names. I'm pretty sure it was Neil Adams who got a lawyer, and decided to make a case about the return of original art. There was no contract in doing comic book work in the 60s and in the early part of the 70s. None of us had a contract. What we had was a paycheck, which had a little rubber stamped thing on the back of it, which said something to the effect of, by endorsing this check, I hereby give up all rights now and forever, blah, 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 including, original artwork, and then a little line under that to sign it. Had to sign the check to cash it. And so we all did it. And Neil Adams took one of his paychecks to the lawyer and said, okay, look at this. What do you think? And the guy looked at it and laughed and said, this is completely illegal. This means nothing. It's toilet paper, but, it's also a check, so cash it. But he said legally it's just bullshit. So Neil took his lawyer to have a meeting with DC's lawyers. And I only heard this story, like third or fourth hand, so I can only imagine all these lawyers in a big conference room, at a big table on either side, talking about this, and Neil's lawyer saying, okay, your position is that you own the original artwork, the actual artwork that the artists have drawn on. That is your property. And, DC's lawyer saying, yes, that's what we're saying. That's our property. And, Neil's lawyer says, so you are buying a product then from your artist, not a service. DC's lawyer saying, oh, no, it's not a service. It's a product. We own it. It's ours. And Neil's lawyer says, oh, okay, then if I asked you to produce receipts for the sales tax for all of this artwork, going back some, 20, 30 years, that's no problem, right? You can do it. And DC's lawyers going, what did we say, product? No, no, no. We're talking about services here. And that's what it came down to. It was all about sales tax, you know. And DC, I think they were the first to do it. They instituted a policy of returning the original artwork to the artist. So we all started getting it back. What's more, we started getting it back retroactively. We started getting artwork back that they had bought a few years before that they still had in their possession. DC's offices, it used to be like a subway station. People coming and going all the time, and they would have tours of their office for school kids. And the school kids would come and they would tour around the office, see the production department, meet the artists if they were happened to be there, and as a gift just for showing up, they'd be given a page of original art. And they say, oh, but this is black and white. Oh no, well, you see, the color is a separate process, and but this is what the artist actually drew, and the kids, of course, were delighted. This was like a special thing. They kept all the original art in a closet, the DC art offices, and they would give it away occasionally as much as they could, and sometimes it would be stolen, but mostly if it piled up to the point that it was filling the closet and there was no more room, they'd take it downstairs and throw it in the incinerator. And they've been doing this for years. That's what happened to original artwork, and nobody kept film of this or copies of any kind, so much work was lost, in the old days, in the 40s and 50s. It's crazy. But anyway, we ended up getting our original artwork back, and just about everybody sells their artwork.
Yeah, some friends of mine, this guy I know, Dave Marquez, he works on it draws for...
Very popular. And
I love how just gross it is, but it's bloodless, which makes it even more...
Well, that's the thing was, I got this far with it, and I thought, there should be an awful lot of blood. And then I thought, man, blood is just going to cover up everything else that I'm trying to show here. I'm going to get it all over the paw and, the rips and his teeth and everything. So I thought, okay, and I justified it to myself that this is happening very fast, and this is the moment when the monster is ripping his face off, just that moment before the blood starts to flow. Right?
Yeah, just
it's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything.
It's so like unnerving and disturbing. And
it is, yeah.
You look, that eye is really like classic illustrated, and it's just like so horrible. Huh? It's so fun. Yeah, it's funny. I went back and watched some clips from the movie while we were working on this, and how they, they got the guy, it's like straight up.
Right.
I do like it's like a secret. Almost a Star Wars. You got Yoda in there.
Yeah.
Dressed as the kid dressed as Yoda for Trick or Treat. But yeah. There's some. There's a couple references to Star Wars in the novel. I think like he's playing with action figures or something.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. But this really kind of dates it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that year.
It's pre Jedi, post Empire kind of.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the dark times.
Yeah, before the dark times, before the prequels.
Oh man. Yeah. That's the first one.
Yeah.
That's January.